Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make an axolotl in a bucket house. If you enjoy this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button, as I haven't posted anything like this on this channel in quite a while, so if you do like it, then maybe I'll consider making some more stuff. You can barely see me behind the armor stands. I'll consider making some more stuff like this, and without any further ado, let's get started. Here are all of the materials that you will need to make the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all those materials and enough of them as well. And now that we have all of our stuff, we can get started. So step one, we are going to place a row of 4 grey concrete in a row going right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then extend the 4th block inwards, to the right, back by 3, 1, 2, 3, left, up, left by 3, 1, 2, 3, down, left, down by 3, 1, 2, 3, and you might be able to guess we're going to connect it together. So this is the base shape of the bucket. Next, we want to take out our light grey concrete, and we want to start building up layers on top of the base of the bucket. So the light grey concrete is going to be placed above and outside of the previous layer of the grey concrete. So it's essentially going to make a circle. This is how we are going to make the shape of the bucket. It'll end up looking a little something like this. So now that we've done that, we want to do that again. So we're going to add an extra layer of light grey concrete above and outside of the previous layer of light grey concrete, and we just want to make an ever so slightly larger circle. So this is kind of like the bottom part of the bucket. The bucket is curved a little bit at the bottom. You guys know how it kind of, starts off a bit small at the bottom and slowly opens up going towards the top. So that is what we want to have so far. We're going to add an extra layer of light grey concrete on top of the circle of light grey. So on top of the second layer of the light grey concrete, we'll actually want to have 2 rows of light grey. That's kind of poetic a little bit. So now that we have done that, we want to make, this is how big the bucket is going to be in circumference. We're going to add one final layer of light grey concrete, and that is going to be the final, and that is going to be about as big as the actual build gets. Now, it's ever so slightly bigger than this, only because our axolotl will be hanging out the top of the bucket, but this is pretty much like the width, the circumference, the diameter, what's the other part that's like half of the diameter? I can't remember. Whatever it's got an R in it. You guys know what I'm talking about. Leave that in the comments. What's the little part? The radius, that's right. So the radius of the bucket. Anyway, so now that we have done that, and I know that that looks a little bit weird, but we're going to add 5 additional rows of light grey concrete on top of this outer layer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And by the way, the 6th layer is actually going to be a grey concrete. So we can add 5 entire rows of light grey on top of this outer layer with that final row of grey concrete on top. And this is going to make up the side of the bucket. This is like the long, flat, straight bit. Or I guess it's not really like straight because it's still like curved, but you know how Minecraft reacts to things like, circles. So we can only get things most of the way there when it comes to round objects, but we just want to build up the sides. The grey concrete is, of course, for the lip of the bucket, the lid, whatever you call it. So the very tippity top. So there we go. You can kind of see how this is going. And finally, we add this layer of grey right around the top. And then we can add our axolotl. Well, sort of, actually. So we'll finish adding all of this grey, just like this. Perfect. What we then want to do is add a layer of blue glass. So the blue glass is basically just going to fill the top of the bucket in. We want to fill in where the light grey is. Like, we don't want to fill the very tippity top of the bucket in. We want to fill just one row below because we're going to add some water. So here, here. Perfect. So the next thing that we're going to do is grab some white concrete, and we're going to start working on the axolotl. So the axolotl is going to, first of all, whichever side you want to be the front, you've kind of got to pick that out. This side's going to be my front, because why not? There's no real reason. Any side can be the front, doesn't matter. So we're looking for kind of like the middle of the connecting corners. So this would be it, like right in the middle. Place yourself a white concrete and extend it forwards by 2. 1, 2. Place a light blue concrete in front, and then extend the light blue concrete to the left by 6 using white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then a light blue, and extend the light blue backwards by 3, and then fill the base of the head in using white concrete. So this is kind of like the base of the head of the axolotl. On top of the outer part of this shape, we want to join these two the two light blue concretes together. We want to put an entire row of white concrete on top, a purple on the ends of that row of white. We want to place purple terracotta right in the 2 middle spots like this, and we want to place white concrete in between the purple and the purple terracotta, and finish up by placing an entire row of white concrete on top of all of this. So the head wants to get extended backwards using white concrete. You don't have to fill the entire portion of this in, so you can just kind of like fill the outer part of the head in like this, and then it just wants to turn into a solid block, just kind of like this. And then we can make the body. So the body is at the back. We want to take the very bottom of the back of the head, and we want to extend it backwards 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that basically just take the entire thing. We'll extend the entire thing backwards by 4 rows like this. And we want to kind of like extend the edge of this underneath. We may even have to, depending upon how this looks from the inside of the bucket, we may have to alter this a tad. We want to knock out the 2 middle rows at the back, because these actually want to be light blue concrete. This might be a good time for us to just sneak in, and yeah, this is a good time for us to sneak in and add extra white concretes underneath all of the parts that we weren't able to. So here, and here, and here. Fill this in with blue, like so. And we're going to make this a little bit taller as well, I think. No, actually, no, that's a perfect height. Unless, shall we add? Yeah, okay, let's add 1 more row on top of all of this. So all of the light blue, all of the white, will add an additional row. And we have a couple of features to add to the axolotl as well. So just like this, here, here. Perfect. So that's the back part of the axolotl. Now when we get to the front part of the axolotl, looks so weird without the arms and stuff. We want to make the, I mean, I don't know, the rest of the head, I don't know what you'd actually call it. So from the purple concretes, which are the eyes, we want to place magenta concrete on the outside. Underneath, pink concrete, extend outwards. On top of the magenta, place pink, magenta to the right, pink on top. On top of the corner of the head here, pink concrete, magenta left and above, just like this. And that is 1/2 of the axolotl's face, so we can do the exact same thing on the opposite side. So we can place a magenta concrete, pink underneath, left. On top of the magenta, pink, magenta left, pink on top. Corner of the head here, pink, magenta right, and on top. And we'll have something which should look like this. So grab yourself the white concrete, and we want to make arms just kind of like dangling off the bucket. So this is pretty much just like to the left and right of this, like the front flat part of the bucket. We want to place 1, 2, 3 white concretes extending down, so that's 1, 2, 3. And then we want to place a magenta underneath and outwards from these 2 concretes. And you could leave it like this, although it's not quite accurate. You're supposed to be able to see the inner part of the hands, so you can do that if you like, and that looks perfectly nice. You can even have a little bit of water splatter, so that can be achieved using, I mean, you can build it into the bucket like this, or you can just have like water splatter on the outside, but I think that looks pretty good. Now, the one final thing that we're going to be doing, just to finish off this build, other than doing the inside, of course, is that we want to make the entrance. So the entrance I'm going to have at the front where the axolotl is, and I'm going to place grey concrete extending outwards from the bottom on the left and right until we are able to make kind of like a flat entrance. Or, I mean, we could just add the extra one and then destroying the middle of this, and then you can see that that'd actually make a fine entrance, like it could just go like right here, to which all we have to do, we add oak doors like this, and then boom, you got your entrance. We can also add some water inside of this as well, by the way, at the top, because it just makes it a little bit more, you know, realistic. I mean, the axolotl in the bucket, you know, he wants the water. He doesn't need the water, but he likes the water, you know. We want to make him comfortable. And that's all there is to it. The only thing that we could possibly do is add an inside to the axolotl bucket. And I guess that's exactly what we're going to be doing. However, I'm going to do that off recording because it's not going to look that impressive. But I want to give you guys a nice idea on how it could look. So I'll be back in just a second. So this is what your build will look like once it has been 100% fully completed. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed making this as much as I have enjoyed designing and making this for you. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button, as it helps me in the channel out very, very much. If you're new around here, please do consider subscribing and clicking that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make anything else by me, check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section for more stuff. Thank you so much for watching, I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!